I can pretty much set my own hours and do as I want because I don't have a boss. I work for myself, and most of that is just, you know, creating these YouTube videos, making posts on Facebook, and working with freelance clients here and there as well. And that's the really nice thing, is that I don't have to work for someone else. The most important thing you have is time, right? And anything that you can do to free up your time is super valuable. And that's why more and more companies are outsourcing a lot of things using AI, because it doesn't really make sense to hire a human worker if you can just create a digital assistant, essentially, that will do all of the things for you. Hey there, welcome to the channel, and greetings from beautiful sunny Koh Samui. I'm just going for a walk around the neighborhood right now. It is quite hot at the moment, so probably have to head back and maybe jump in the pool up here actually a little bit later. But in this video, I just wanted to go over kind of like my day-to-day on the island and how I balance my work with life, right? Because I've been getting some questions recently about work-life balance and how I balance everything, right? And it's a good question. And to be perfectly honest, I don't really have a set schedule that I follow day to day. I pretty much just take things as they come along. I'm quite spontaneous. So let's say I schedule a phone call with somebody who wants to talk to me, then I add them to my calendar, and that's automatic anytime that they schedule a call, right? So pretty much anything that's on my calendar is set in stone, and I have to follow that calendar to a T. But generally speaking, I don't really schedule that many calls on a week-to-week basis. In fact, I was just having a conversation with a guy connected with me on Facebook yesterday, and I was telling him about my coaching program, and he was saying, oh, you got basically, in order for someone to work with you, you need to be scheduling 60 calls a month. And I'm not anywhere close to that, nor do I want to be. I want to make my life simpler, not more complicated, right? Whether I have someone working on my behalf or not, I want to keep the workload relatively low. Now, obviously, if I had that many calls scheduled, I could easily scale up my income a lot faster. But for me, that doesn't jive with my work-life balance, right? So this is like the number one for me, is having the freedom and flexibility to basically set my own hours. And, you know, if I have to do everything myself, like I almost always do, to be honest, I don't have a team or anything, then so be it, right? And then once I'm able to basically scale up the income, then it makes more sense to start hiring a team, maybe some virtual assistants in the Philippines, something along these lines. And then also now, a lot of this stuff can be automated using AI agents and chatbots, which I've personally set up on my own Facebook page, and it's saving me a ton of time that I would otherwise be spending going through and manually messaging all these people that are reaching out to me and commenting on my posts. So I basically just automated that whole thing. And ultimately, the point that I would like to get to is actually automating the entire sales process as well, and essentially using AI to take a lot of the things off my plate, which essentially will just boil down to 1 or 2 or maybe 3 subscriptions to different services versus hiring an entire sales team and all this stuff. So that's kind of the direction I'm headed moving forward. If you guys are not familiar with AI agents yet, it's definitely one of the highest leverage skills that you can learn right now, and you can essentially sell these agents to Fortune 500 companies. If you're able to get in touch with the decision makers, then you can turn around and sell them for, you know, tens of thousands of dollars, because a lot of these companies are looking to automate these processes as they are laying off more and more human employees. right? So AI is essentially going to be taking place of a lot of these repetitive activities that can basically just be automated, right? You know, I've already been doing it on my own Facebook page, and it's a huge time saver. And the service itself is only like $50 a month, so it's very affordable. And I use SynPulse for that. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to check it out. But yeah, it's definitely a game changer. And that essentially frees up my time to do other things, such as, you know, make these YouTube videos, go for a walk on a beach, go to the gym, whatever. And that's typically how my day starts, is by going to this little gym on a fishing island. And it's open air, so I'll just go work out there for, you know, 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling for the day. And that's exactly what I did today. Then I went over to a restaurant very close to the gym where I work out, got a quick coffee, and then headed over to my one and only meeting for the day. And that was it. So we finished the meeting, came back home, went to 7-Eleven to pay my electricity bill, which was delivered today. I picked up some laundry. It's also very easy to do laundry here as well. They have the Otteries. There's a bunch of different laundry mats, but I usually go to Ottery. And then basically you just put the laundry in, you pay, and then you can even pay a lady to do the drying for you, so you don't even have to worry about that. And I would say in general, things over here in Thailand are just a lot easier. Things just work, right? And that's one of the things that I really, really like about living in Thailand. I've visited other places such as the Philippines, and in the Philippines it just seemed like things were taking a very long time to get finished, and it just wasn't for me, right? So I learned that lesson, and now I know that I don't necessarily want to live in the Philippines. I want to stay right here in Thailand. And yeah, I would like to help other people make the move abroad to Thailand, specifically Koh Samui, because I've traveled all over this beautiful country and then I just kept coming back to Samui. It pretty much checks all the boxes for me. They've got the international airport, so you can easily fly in or out of the island anytime you want. And direct flights to Singapore. I think you can even get to China from here. We're planning a trip to China later this year, to a place called Chongqing. So that's definitely looking forward to that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the most important thing, the most important thing you have is time, right? And anything that you can do to free up your time is super valuable. And that's why more and more companies are outsourcing a lot of things using AI, because it doesn't really make sense to hire a human worker if you can just create a digital assistant, essentially, that will do all of the things for you. So that's why I'm getting into learning about AI agents more. I was recently watching a video by a guy, Liam Otley, who also has a YouTube channel with about 500,000 subscribers now. And he put together a full course, it's 4 hours long, on how to build out AI agents using a couple different tools like Persistence AI, Innate-In, and Make.com. Those are I would say the biggest three for building agents. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, you can basically turn around and sell these AI agents to large companies that want to save time and cut their workload. So this is something that I'm potentially going to be moving towards going into the future. I can pretty much set my own hours and do as I want because I don't have a boss. I work for myself, and most of that is just, you know, creating these YouTube videos, making posts on Facebook, and working with freelance clients here and there as well. And that's the really nice thing, is that I don't have to work for someone else. Obviously, I could get a remote job. I could be making way more money every single month working remotely, but I've been down that path before, and it just never really led anywhere for me. And after a while, you just have to say, screw it, I'll do it myself, right? And I think this is going to become more and more important especially as AI continues advancing, you're going to need to become an entrepreneur and learn a wide range of skills in order to stay competitive in the job market. Because many of these companies, even the large tech firms, Google, Facebook, Apple, all those, are firing their employees in mass. If you're working for one of these companies, you're just a number in a spreadsheet or a database somewhere, right? You're expendable, essentially. And I know that sounds harsh, but that is the reality of the situation, right? So you have to find ways to become indispensable. And I believe now, moving forward, AI is the next big thing. So if you're not learning the skills afforded by AI, I would recommend, just searching YouTube for, AI agents, and a bunch of tutorials will pop up that will teach you how to create these agents. Like I say, I'm always looking to teach other people. How to put the systems in place to escape the rat race, move abroad to Asia. It doesn't necessarily have to be Thailand, although that's the market that I'm focusing on, right? Since I've been living here for 5 years now. And just have a better quality of life and lower cost of living. The food is excellent here. The people are super friendly. It's pretty much beautiful sunny weather like this year round. Today it's actually a little bit too hot, so I've mostly just been relaxing at home in between meetings and the gym and all these sorts of things. But otherwise, there's really nothing much to complain about. And the island is starting to get more busy now. More and more tourists are coming here, especially after the new White Lotus, which is a TV show that aired on HBO, was shot entirely here in Samui. So that's just driving up the tourism numbers, as is to be expected. But for me, I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. And I'm going to continue creating content like this for my YouTube channel. Also planning on doing some more traveling this year as well. I want to go to China, possibly Japan as well. So stay tuned for videos. And looks like this one's almost 13 minutes long now, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. So with that being said, take care, stay safe, peace, see you in the next one.